I'm gonna start this chapter 4 of 23 with a memory. It is the 15th of November 2010, a Monday morning, and I'm feeling like I'm feeling today, if not worse. I'm in high school, 1 year left until graduation. I'm in my classroom, 3 boys and 16 girls. I'm sitting in the second row on the aisle side, next to a good mate of mine who today has decided to pick on me because the day before, on Sunday, Fernando Alonso got stuck behind Vitaly Petrov and lost the championship. Our teacher, Mr. Imola, is a Ferrari fan just like me, and he feels a bit like me, but he's an adult, so he's still going on with his job. Coulomb law, the first fundamental law of electrostatic. The guy next to me keeps on picking on me, and I had enough. I had spent that weekend working in my father's olive farm. I was tired and pissed off. I raised my 2 fingers to the sky, signaling that I needed to go to the bathroom, and I managed to keep some aplomb, and loudly I cussed this guy by saying Waffen and nothing here, Coulomb, like the guy we were learning about. Waffen Coulomb, which sounds like the most popular Italian cusses, is probably the wittiest moment in my life so far, and I didn't get to enjoy it. This weekend, the same guy sent me a short video. He is at work, cooking in one of the most famous restaurants in Italy. He sends me a video of him working and watching F1, telling me how he's getting into the sport and how proud I would be of him. I was already proud of him for his accomplishment in his life. I'm now a bit more. Now, I know the championship is still there to take and that there are a few details that cost Ferrari the beating that it took in Imola. The sprint race, exciting despite the result, imposed a revision of the race program. There is one session of practice followed by a qualifying session. Then there is a second session of practice that is kind of useless because the cars enter Parc Ferme when they are out of the pit lane in Q1 and changes in setup are not allowed. Then there is the sprint race, then there is the regular race. The setup used in quali, sprint race and race were pretty much gambles considering free practice 1 was done under the rain. Ferrari suffered tire graining because of an error in setup, and an error in setup also cost them the victory in Saudi Arabia. This race weekend program makes little sense, and also Parc Ferme rules during wet condition, but it's the same for everyone. So the problem is all for the Maranello team. Their attention to details has to improve. The rain also caused the issue at the start. Charles and Max had the same reaction time at lights out, but the Red Bull reached 200 km per hour, 2/10 quicker than the Ferrari. The whole right side of the grid suffered from the same issue, lack of grip. There was nothing Ferrari could do. Imola tarmac is old, it is no grip and it was wet. Impatient, will to win and a working tool and years of bitter bites drove Leclerc to a mistake at Variante Alta. Psychologically, I hope someone interested in brain matters, brain matters, is listening to this. It is understandable why Leclerc did not settle for 3rd place and try to catch up Perez for P2. Nothing wrong there at the moment, but I hope that I will not be heartbroken once again this December when the championship ends because those extra points will have given Leclerc the championship. One last consideration, or maybe 2. Yes, the sprint race was fun. Yes, Imola is a great track where it's almost impossible to overtake, but it gives us great race like Alonso versus Schumacher in 2005-2006 or Villeneuve versus Pironi in 1982. It is almost 40 years since we lost the greatest race driver who ever lived. But Imola also gives us boring race, boring like this one. DRS was disabled for too long with all the drivers on slick tires, a decision from race director that made little sense and made this race less enjoyable than it could have been. And perhaps it could have given us a different result with Leclerc fastened Perez during the first half of the race, but unable to pass him due to the lack of DRS, but also for the way the Ferrari engine works. But the TV coverage did not help the cause, constantly showing us Lewis Hamilton in P14 fighting, and that's a big word, against Gasly for 62 laps to get a P13. But hey, then again, the GOAT, I will restrain myself from making the sound of the GOAT, is British, and so is F1 Media.